All right, so today, a little different video I'm doing. Doing a video, if you see the background, what I carried when I was a diesel mechanic. A long time ago, from about 2000 to 2010, around that time frame. I carried the Kershaw leak. And yeah, you see that right there, that very expensive Kershaw leak. The old strap-on got me on these. Tool truck came around. It was nice and small, like the action on it. And picked one up. This one is from, I don't know if you can see that, November of 02. This wasn't my first one, this is my second one. First one I lost. But the reason I liked it, because I was carrying one in my pocket and it gets too heavy, it fall out of your pocket, you're rolling around on the ground. You know, I never pocket carried. I had a front pocket on my chest, carried a pen, flashlight, and my knife. Just for the simple fact that it would just, they'd come out of my pocket. I mean, any knife I carried, and it would screw the clips up and everything. Like I said, you're on concrete, you're in anything and everything. And this one, like I said, it was in 2002. Now, these were so good at cable tie, and it was just an all-around good knife. The blade shape, what you call that? Maybe a Wharncliffe. I'm not sure what you call that blade shape, but it was good for cable ties, hose. I mean, you could get in there, you know, real high up on it too, and do any sort of, any type of cutting task you need. Of course, you know, there's other things that in your toolbox that you're going to use to cut certain things, but these would have to be, I would say, the most used and abused knives that I've ever had. And I've probably had, I don't know, maybe 12, 14 of these in my day. Gave them away as gifts, used them, sold them. You know how it goes. But these two I kept. So I got this one, of course, got that strap-on logo on there. So I didn't know, you know, I was on the truck, decided, whatever, I'll just buy it right now instead of ordering one. It's just that much more simple. Plus I had a tool belt like every mechanic has. So I mean, the pivot's still, you know, it's got a little loose. These have never been taken apart. The safeties, they always break off. Didn't care, I don't care. They never once deployed on me accidentally while in my pocket. And this is so I use this forever. And my guy up at my local knife dealer said they were coming out with the titanium ZDP 189. Missed the first drop, and then about a week later, he called me up, said he had 2 in stock. And I drove up there as fast as I could. This one is, I don't know if you can see that, October of 06 is when I picked this up. Didn't really know too much about ZDP 189 other than it was extremely hard to sharpen, which it is. I don't know, you know, I've owned Rockstead, never sharpened one of those. This I've sharpened, and I'll tell you, the heat treat on it, it's got to be up there. It's got to be at least 65 to 67 because it's a bear to sharpen. It'll eat your stones up pretty good. But it does take a really good edge. But, you know, and everybody would always be like, you know, I was always the knife guy at our shop. And then a bunch of other people started carrying them too. You know, kind of trended on up there. And then once I told them earlier on, I'm like, well, you can buy this one, you can pay for the name on it, or you can just go buy one. I think they were back then were maybe $40, maybe something like that in 2002. I know this one was a little more expensive. This one was probably, I don't know what this was when it came out in 06, maybe $150 to $200, somewhere in that range. And as you can see, it's beat up, but there's no blade play. I've never really got one of these centered when they came in. I haven't had one, bought one since I bought this one. This was kind of the creme de la creme of what I wanted. Plus it was lighter. That was the other thing. I don't have a scale with me. I don't know what these weigh, but there's a significant difference in this titanium one versus the all steel. Don't know what the steel uses, and everybody here is, you know, the tip broke. It's like, yeah, I broke that on purpose. Screwdriver, extra screwdriver. Stuck it in a good chunk of wood, busted it off. And I don't know if these are 440C or, I'm not certain on this one. These are old. This one, and being as hard as the steel is on it, didn't break the tip. You know, a lot of people don't like tip up carry. To me, it doesn't matter really. I mean, I don't get too excited about that, but they just worked very well for being a diesel mechanic. And like I said, you lose them, you carry them in your pocket, you lose them. Front pocket carry, not a lot of people. I don't know anyone else that front pocket carried a knife in your shirt pocket. I did. You know, that's just me, I guess. But lost too many of them. You know, too many. Back then, I was mainly into Kershaw's. Kind of started into my quote unquote nicer knives. Aside from, you know, gas station knives and cheap, just trash knives. But these worked. I was, like I said, a mechanic for 10 years. They never did me wrong. They're dependable. I know I think you can de-assist them. That's kind of one thing, since they're so, you know, and they're, you know, you can get 4 fingers on there, you know, and I've got larger hands, and it's kind of deceiving. But I mean, you can really get a good bite on it, especially in a pinch grip. You know, you can get up there real good. You know, good for, you know, cutting hoses and gaskets, whatever you need to cut with. But I did like the serrations. Those were really good for cable ties. Get that in there, just, you know, basically would just twist and pop. They come right off. But the weight saving on this one was nice, and it's got, like, on this version here, I've got the box somewhere for it still, but the Kershaw and the Ken Onion logo USA is, you know, still, it's like a, oops, sorry. It's got like a little blue, I don't know if you can pick that up, blue anodization on there. And I would like to find one of these brand new, just as a collector's piece. I mean, you know, they do rust. This one has, you know, the ZDP 189 does rust. So it does have a little spots in it, stuff like that. But from being from 2006 to now, I can live with that, you know. So it's a work knife. But I would be curious, you know, in the comments, what, if anyone here watching is a mechanic, what they carry and what they started carrying with, what they're carrying now, whether it be diesel, auto, specialized mechanic. Because if people have asked me what I would carry, because they they don't get the knife community so much. The guys I work with, and I've worked with for a quarter of a century, and they can't believe how much money I spend on knives. Now, I still recommend these to this day. So it's kind of a short, sweet video. Like I said, I'm going to get blasted for that little Snap-on thing there, but that got me into this. All the other ones, it's the only one I bought off of the Snap-on truck. All the rest of them I bought, I don't even like saying their name anymore, but I'll say it, it's GP Knives. They're 10 minutes away from my shop, but that's for a different discussion. I stopped going there. They stopped selling Medfords. Called Medford, told them that all their stuff was discounted. Called them that day. They hadn't even told them yet. So they want to be woke. That's not me. And I know people as mechanics that's really going to piss some people off. Pissed me off enough to where I wasn't spending $10,000 a year on knives from them. And I called them, and of course the owner you couldn't talk to. Now it's a son with and the daughter and the husband, and they're the purple haired, they're just getting so tired of complaints. This was after the Blade Show t-shirt thing that happened, which I thought was funny. It was just a t-shirt and everybody lost their mind, and so I put my money in different places. They don't get my money anymore. And and that's what's funny, the convenience factor for me to go up there, knives are in stock. I can drive there, pick it up, don't have to wait for the mail. And maybe it's being stubborn, I don't think it is, but I'm not gonna deal with a company that wants to have those ideals and have those morals of, I'm not going to get into it, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. So anyway, I'd like to hear your thoughts on if any mechanics out there, or thoughts on if you were a mechanic, what knife you would carry. Like I said, this one, slim profile, light, assisted, which comes in handy. It's easy to close one-handed. You're in a tight spot, pull that knife up, bam. Granted, back then it was a little different, so you didn't have too many choices and a smaller knife to pop out that quick. But anyways, that's kind of a short video for today. Kind of like to get anyone's thoughts, like I said. And I appreciate anyone subscribing, liking, watching the videos. It'll keep getting better. I've got different things I need to do. I've got a lot of knives to review. And I'm not gonna, like I said, my channel's a little different. I don't do, unless it's gonna be a brand new knife, specs not a lot of people have, because the internet's kind of saturated with this stuff. But who knows, might change my mind. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.